everyone, it's Starview and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a book review. To start off, we're going to start out with Wicca category. This is beginner books that I personally feel that are beneficial to your arsenal. The first one is Witchcraft, a handbook of magic, spells, and potions by Anastasia Greywolf. Love this book. It is a good foundational knowledge. It gives you different kinds and denominations of spellcraft. So there's some hoodoo, voodoo, Celtic, there's earth and water spells. It's just a beautiful book all around. Highly recommend this one. The next Wicca book that I recommend is the Wicca for Beginners. Wicca for Beginners is by Judith Geese, or Guys. It is a short and sweet book, but definitely one I feel like will benefit you, and I think that you should pick up first. It gives you links, resources, places that you can find other information. Highly recommended. And then the second book, or the last book I would recommend for specifically Wicca, is the Wicca Spellbook, which is also by Judith Geese, or Guys. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, Judith. But this one gives you spells, gives you some rituals that you can do. I think it's good for beginners as well. So those three are specifically for Wicca. The next book recommendation that I have is the Book of Shadows, also by Anastasia Greywolf. This book for beginners. So it's very illustrated, but what it does, let me see if I can find an example for you. At the beginning, it goes through all the tools, much like my videos did. And then it'll start giving you spells. But it'll give you the spell, the incantation, the ingredients. But what I absolutely love about this for beginners is that it gives you a place to put spell notes, anything that related to the spell, what your effects were, how the outcome was. And basically, this is just going to help you with your own Book of Shadows. Now, it gives you bath rituals, it gives you free from the past spell, courage jar, it does spell jars, it does it all, and then also teaches you how to do your own Book of Shadows. So highly recommend. Again, it's just the Book of Shadows by Anastasia Greywolf. So now we're broadening out a little bit from specifically Wicca to just magic in general. The next book, Jason fucking Miller. This man I love him. I love his writing, I love his style, I love what he has to say, and I love his knowledge. He is so informative about everything. If you don't know him, go check his books out. But the one I'm going to recommend for this one, since this is a beginning one, is going to be the Protection and Reversal Magic. It is extremely, extremely helpful. It even has spirit traps, like it has everything in this book. I think it's very important when you're first starting out in witchcraft. Typically you'll start with protection. Not necessarily because it's the easiest, because it's not. When you start getting some evil eyes on you, it's not. But because it's just so powerful, like just Jason Miller, so good. So Protection and Reverse Magic, I think it's a highly one. I think it is extremely important to have in your arsenal of books and in your knowledge. Again, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful book, and I think that it is something that any new witch practitioner is going to need to know, because you're going to need to know how to do protection and reversal magic. So highly recommend this one. So for my second to last book recommendation on this one, it is an extremely, extremely, extremely recommended book. And not just from me, from my coven mates, anyone I've asked, for beginning books, which book would you pick? This is the one. Matt Oren's Psychic Witch. Everyone should just read this book. Everyone. It goes over exercises. Let's just see. There's 93 fucking exercises. 93. And all of these will probably hurt your fucking brain. And that's fine, because we're strengthening our muscle to become a psychic witch. And it's a very empowering, very hands-on book. So if you are hands-on and you're still struggling and you're not getting to that alpha brainwave, or you're not seeing the results that you wish you would, Psychic Witch, hands down, get it. The last book recommendation that I have is going to be the Odyssey by Homer. I know that we've read this in school. I know that it's been around forever, and no one was really going to think this is a spell book. And you'd probably be right. However, if you're going to work with deities especially, you want to know everything about that deity. You want to know how they were treated, what they like, what their correspondences are, but you also going to want to know how it was interpreted through mythology, right? Because everything in mythology, there's some truth to that. Every myth has, some truth. So mythology is a great one to begin with. Homer's is amazing. I got the illustrated copy from Barnes & Noble's just because I like that little extra visualization, if you will. So I highly recommend this book. With that being said, that was the first book review. I do have 7 more to read that will be coming up later. So keep an eye out on that for more of an intermediate book review. And if you have any book recommendations, I would highly encourage you to leave them in the comments for other new witches to see, me to see personally if I haven't covered it myself. So those are just some books that I recommend to begin with. Now I do want to say that you need to do your due diligence and cross-reference everything that you find. I would usually like to find about 2 to 3 verifiable resources that say the same thing. Now in mythology, you're probably going to come across different variations of the story, and that's perfectly fine. That's how mythology is. But I do think it is important to read up on mythology, especially if you plan on working with deities such as like Hecate, Kali, any of them. All right, so now that we're at the end of this video, I do want to read a little recap real quick. For the Wiccan books, we have Wicca by Judith Geese, guys, I'm gonna butcher her name every time. The Wicca Spellbook. The Book of Shadows, again, highly recommend this one because it will kind of teach you how to do some spells, but also how to write in your Book of Shadows. Extremely important when you're doing witchcraft. The next one is Witchcraft by Anastasia Greywolf. Extremely helpful if you don't know which kind of realm you want to be in the magical world. If you don't know if you want to do Celtic, Wiccan, Hoodoo, Voodoo, you don't know yet. This one has all different sorts of spells from different denominations in it. The next one that I think is highly important is Jason Miller's Protection and Reversal Magic. Extremely, extremely good for protecting yourself, your home, your friends, your loved ones, and maybe seeing if you have any curses or hexes that are thrown at you right now. And then lastly, we have The Psychic Witch by Matt Aron. He is amazing, a phenomenal author. This book is extremely, extremely, extremely hands-on with 93 exercises. So this one is a great one to add to your arsenal. Now, if you do have any recommendations, please leave those in the comments below. I will link all of the books that were mentioned in this video down below in the description, so it'll give you easier access to find them. And again, I just want to let you guys know that I did move to a subscription model in Discord. One of them is Supporter, and that's $3.99, and it comes with some exclusive perks. And then the other one is the Supporter Plus, which is $5.99. That comes with some extra perks as well as shoutouts in the videos, as well as they will be rolling in the credits. So if you do plan on following this channel and do want to support, head on over to our Discord server, which I will link below, and join our community so that we can grow together and learn together from each other. Again, thank you for watching my channel, and I hope you all have a magical day.